Just when I think I'm finally done talking about Terraport, I get some more evidence that comes in that suggests the team behind Terraport might have possibly committed fraud. Regardless of what they say, there are millions of Terra tokens that have varying degrees of connections back to team members that seem to be in violation of the white paper and the sale terms. If you've seen some of my previous videos on Terraport, you've probably seen this slideshow that I presented that showed some of the issues where supposedly in the private sale for Terraport, there was only supposed to be 40 million tokens in the private sale. However, according to someone else's research on the blockchain, they found over 70 million tokens that were allocated as private sale. And I decided to go ahead and go back and review what is going on with these different tokens. Why are there so many tokens here that are not supposed to be here? And I want to highlight for you guys that it was not just the white paper that said there was 40 million tokens that were supposed to be in the private sale. You can see this page that was on their website actually outlined that there was supposed to be 40 million tokens in the private sale. And it also said this key thing: the terms are fixed and are not subject to revision or variation. And this is under the section of variation of terms after the start of sales, which you can see this screenshot was taken after private sale 2, so sales had started at this point. Now, it's possible you might be entitled to a refund, as it appears they might have violated the terms of the sale, but I would recommend that you guys get legal counsel before you pursue any action in that regards. I ended up getting a list that appears to have all the wallets that got allocations deeming into the private sale. Now you can see this list goes from biggest to smallest, and spoiler alert, all of the yellow or orangey colors and all the purple colors are the concerning ones. So you can see some of the biggest wallets that got allocations in the sale are concerning. All right, let's dive into this mess of a web, and I'm going to try and make this as clear as possible and make it as straightforward and easy to understand as possible. Let's start off here in the middle with the one that, in my opinion, is the most strange to me. Now, this center wallet right here ended up creating a bunch of sub wallets that you guys can see right behind me, all of these different sub wallets, and created them all at the same time. And I can show you guys what I mean by that. If we copy this address, search it on Terraport Finder, or the Terra Finders, excuse me, not Terraport. We scroll down, we look at the history, you can see all of these transfers for exactly 100 on the 30th. So you guys can see all these transfers that went through here. There are 8 of these different ones. And what happened with this, and we can click on one of them, you can see that goes over to this other wallet. And if we scroll down to the bottom, this is the first transaction of all these different wallets. This is when these wallets were created by the Central One wallet. So what happened is this Central One wallet created these 8 sub wallets. Well, these 8 sub wallets got massive allocations into the Terraport private sale. And this was done March 30th, just before the Terra token actually went live. These wallets were not existing before that time period. And so you guys can see these massive token allocations that went in. Well, in total, this one individual created these sub wallets that gathered a total of 20 million Terra tokens in the private sale, which, if you guys remember, based on the white paper, we could see that there's only supposed to be in total 40 million tokens in that allocation. And the reason why is because they also earn this bonus 90% APR. And I went through the blockchain to confirm a lot of these different wallets are actively earning 90% APR when they probably shouldn't be. So let's keep diving into it. And so not only did this one wallet create these 8 sub wallets that then received millions of Terra tokens in allocation, it also received LUNC coming back from some of these different wallets. And you can see this wallet, for example, ended up sending 2 million LUNC back to the wallet that originally created a sub wallet. And this was made possible because they actually sold off some Terra to get some LUNC to then send back to that other main wallet. There was also another wallet which was kind of strange. You can see this wallet right here. Now this wallet ended up claiming directly out of this wallet 1.9 million Terra tokens from the private sale, and they also created these other sub wallets. You can see all these different sub wallets right behind me as well for this one. And between this one and all of its sub wallets, this one got another 14 million tokens allocated to it. And this one looked very similar. The difference here was that these different sub wallets were not all created on the same day. These were not all created on March 30th, like what that other central wallet was that we looked at first. You can see some of those transactions like this one right here, and I have all this logged in here, just kind of hidden right now, so it's not so much of a mess, but you can scroll down to the history of this wallet. You can see the very first transaction coming in for 10 Terra Classic ended up coming in from that wallet that ends in C07LY0. And you can see again, that is this main wallet right here that ended up creating this sub wallet that got, in this scenario, almost 4 million Terra tokens in the private sale. By the way, all these transactions are on the blockchain. Anybody can pause this video, take these different addresses, type them into the Terra Finder, and confirm what I'm showing. I also have, as you can see, some of these different transactions that pop out. I'm trying to explain this in the simplest way possible to make this all come together for you. Okay, so now we have this central wallet right here that ended up sending and creating sub wallets that received 20 million Terra tokens. Then we have this other wallet that created sub wallets or has sub wallets that ended up receiving a total of 14.5 million Terra tokens. That combines to 35 million Terra tokens just between these two, which again, if you guys recall, there's only supposed to be 40 million total in this private sale allocation. So we're getting up to that limit right now. And spoiler, we go beyond 40 million. Now, before we dive into the other wallets, you might be wondering, how does this connect to the team? Well, we have a name that was actually included in a memo of a transaction. You can see this central wallet right here ended up sending a transfer over to another wallet that was connected. You can see that connection down here, and we'll talk about that later on. But if we pull up this transaction, you guys can see the memo right behind me. This is in Italian, but if we actually translate this translates to Karen Demoni, and I apologize if I butcher that. Pay the first coffee, LUNC community, yes. You might be wondering, who is that individual? If we actually go over to the Telegram for Terra and you look at the admins over here on the right hand side, and we scroll down, you can see this individual right here. That is the person in question here. We have that same name right here, and they're the same person who's also in the LUNC Italia community. They're also in here as an admin as well. This person also funded another wallet right here with 150,000 Terra Classic on March 27th that appears to be a dev wallet that was testing code version 2023. You might be wondering, is this individual the person who ended up stealing all the liquidity? Well, I don't really think so, because if we go back to what Terra actually said, they said that the team infiltration that started 3 months ago with the individual using a fake identity, well, this person can be tracked back. This original transaction that has their name included here, this goes back to August 16th, almost 8 months ago. So this seems to be a separate individual who ended up creating these sub wallets and then getting 20 million Terra tokens in the private sale. So this wallet that seems to be self-identifying, from my understanding of the Google translation, to be this individual on the Terraport team ends up having a transaction that goes into this wallet that receives 7 million Terra from the marketing allocation. Now, from what I can understand by trying to Google translate things in the LUNC Italia Discord server, this wallet had something to do with burns that were happening quite a while back. And then we have this other wallet right here that also seems to be mentioned in the LUNC Italia Discord, having something to do about some kind of lottery system that was going a little while back, but both seem to be connected back to the LUNC Italia group from my understanding. Now there's this third central wallet, and I'm not sure who owns this or what's going on here, but this is another very strange one, because what happened is that there was a lot of funds that ended up being funneled into this wallet. If you guys saw some of my previous videos, you might recognize this, where I was talking about some of the marketing allocation and some of the private sale allocation that got funneled into one single wallet that just seemed very strange to me. That's what this wallet is. And so what happened, if we go back up here, so from these 8 different wallets that ended up being created, this first one right here that allocated or received about 4.7 million Terra ended up sending some Terra down into this main wallet here. And something that's really strange is that every single one of these 3 different wallets that sent money into this other core wallet right here, they sent exactly 1.42 million Terra, regardless of how much they actually claim. So you can see this wallet, which was this one right up here. This wallet ended up sending in exactly 1.42 million Terra into that other strange wallet, even though it initially received from the distribution about 2.3 million Terra. So it sent exactly that amount. And same with these other wallets, even though they received different amounts of Terra tokens, they all sent exactly that 1.42 million Terra into this central wallet. Now, another private sale allocation that's just strange is this wallet right here that received 3 million Terra tokens and then ended up creating this other wallet that received 6 million Terra tokens. Now, here's what seems to be a developer wallet. This developer wallet created this other wallet right up here, and then also sent 1,000 LUNC on March 31st before everything got going to this other wallet. So it has connections to 2 of these wallets that received marketing allocation. And what's strange is if we take these wallet addresses, kind of like what I was telling you guys, how it funneled all this money in, you can go at any of these. And what happened is first they get a payment. In this case, this one got exactly 1,000, was first created from that other dev wallet. Then it got 4 million Terra allocated from what was called the referral sale, but it seems to be the actual marketing allocation. And then that ended up going out into 2 payments back over here to the central wallet. They ended up getting tons of Terra tokens sent into it. You guys can see that right here as well. And so it's just very strange as to how this is all coming together, how these are all so connected, because you can see these millions of Terra coming in, those 3 transactions for 1.42 million, and then these other transactions for a few more million Terra coming into this wallet. So essentially what we're looking at here is 3 groups that are connected. We have this first group up at the top with this main wallet and then these sub wallets that end up creating. We have this second group and we have a name attached to that as somebody in the Terra group or Terraport group. They ended up creating 8 sub wallets here that received a total of 20 million Terra tokens. And then we have this third wallet down here that ended up receiving 21 million tokens in the allocation for marketing or referrals, and then another 9 million into private sale. This brings the total for all of these different wallets at 21 million Terra tokens from referrals or marketing, which represents in theory 21% of the marketing allocation coming in to that 1/3 wallet at the bottom. And the private sale total is 44 million Terra between these different wallets that are all connected, which again, I'm going to pull it up just one more time here for you guys. There's only supposed to be a total coming in of 40 million tokens in the private sale. So right off the bat here, just wallets that are connected to what seem to be team members, we have over 40 million Terra tokens. So even if we say, let's pretend to say that the team members bought out the entire first private sale, which is problematic for a couple reasons, but even if we say that happened, there are more tokens given to wallets that seem to be connected to team members than were supposed to be in the entire private sale, which is a problem for 2 reasons. The first reason is the discounted price. Everyone else paid higher prices, but apparently in theory, these different team members or wallets connected to team member wallets seem to have been given a discounted price beyond the 40 million tokens that's supposed to be closer to 7 million, almost double that amount. And 2, the second major issue is this 90% APR. Let's say maybe this, for some reason, was supposed to be allocated somewhere else and accidentally got classified as private sale. Maybe that's a possibility, but they're getting 90% APR when, if that's actually the case, it was supposed to go to something else, then they should be getting either 0 APR or one of these other different classifications of APR. And so this wallet that got 6 million tokens in the marketing allocation seems to be connected to LUNC Italia, and same with this other wallet that got 7 million. And then we have this core wallet right here, this central one that ended up seems to be like a Terraport team member, and this top wallet that I'm not sure who it is, and then this Miller wallet that I don't know what this allocation is supposed to go towards. Now, in my opinion, one of the most concerning things is that Rexys knew about this, the fact that there are tokens going out there that did not match the white paper and appear to have been going to team members potentially, or some of the team, because I asked specifically, what would you do essentially if I presented evidence that there are over 40 million tokens labeled as private sale and receiving the 90% APR? He said this whole thing right here, which you guys are welcome to see this public on my Twitter account, basically saying any issue not specific to an individual investor should be brought to the attention of the auditors. But then at the bottom here, I wanted to clarify, he said, from our perspective, what you have identified, we are fully aware of and requires no further action. So from Rexy's perspective, he did not see it as an issue that you essentially are being screwed over in a sense, right? There's more tokens in this private sale than the 40 million, and they're actively earning 90% APR, and that did not seem like an issue to him. And to be clear, all unsold pre-sale tokens were supposed to be burned. You can see different tweets from Rexy's right here where he said that all unsold pre-sale tokens will be burned. Anything unsold will not be minted. So he made it very clear that it's not like in this scenario, let's say, for example, maybe they didn't sell out because they didn't sell out the round. So maybe they allocated some to team members and let team members go ahead and buy in after that. That's not exactly what happened here because it's not supposed to be minted. It's not supposed to happen. In addition to that, even if they did decide to allocate some to team members, this is allocated as private sale, which again, as I showed you guys, means that they are getting 90% APR on these tokens, which let's say they are supposed to be allocating some pre-sale 1 or pre-sale 2, they should be getting lower APRs because of that. There's only supposed to be 40 million allocated. There are 70 million, and I've tracked down over 40 million that connect back to what seem to be different team member wallets. So I don't know what's going on here, especially considering we have this wallet that seems to be connected to the team that is getting funds sent to it, millions of Terra tokens from this sub wallet, from this sub wallet, and then from this other wallet that's all getting funneled through here, and then more money getting funneled into that wallet from here as well. So I'm not sure what's going on here, you guys, but this is not looking good. Now there's something else, as if that wasn't enough, that I have to show you guys, so buckle up. This is going to be kind of a doozy. Rexy's put this post in the Discord, which kind of upset me. He said the code was not what caused the crime. You might have seen some tweets from Rex and others like this that looks really confusing, to be honest. I didn't understand what the heck was going on here because they were claiming that their wallets that ended up draining the liquidity pool were actually hard-coded. And I didn't understand what that meant, but luckily they walked me through how to do it. I'm going to walk you guys through too. That way, if Rexy's or anyone else from Terra or Terraport is saying that the wallets were not hard-coded and the code was not the fault, you guys know that they are lying to you. Just straight up, they are lying to you. And so what we can do here is we can go to the transaction where one of the liquidity pools ended up being drawn or withdrawn. You guys can see that transaction right here. 5 million USDC was taken from this wallet. Now, if you click on that, what it actually pulls up is a smart contract. And you can see that smart contract has a code ID. This one was 7095, and all the smart contracts have this code ID. Now, if you paste that into this link, you're going to get this mess. Now, this link is, you guys can see at the top here, but this whole mess is something that we're going to decode here. lcd.terrarebels.net. I know it's Terra Rebels, but let's go with it here for a second. You can see codes, and this one, in this case scenario, I have 7023, but I end up checking the actual one. I'm going to show you that here in a second. What you can do is paste that into base64decode.org, and what you want to do is make sure that you remove this start. So this first little bit that you guys can see where it says byte code, this section, you need to remove that and remove the bracket that's also at the end. Paste it in here, that way it works correctly. Then what you do is you take that and you go over to Notepad++ or another application that can actually translate the mess that you get in return, all this mess, into something that's actually legible. And what you do then is just search for Terra 1. And what happens, this pulls up different addresses, which we can see behind me. You guys can see a couple different addresses here. First, we have this one that goes right up to there. And then we have a different address that goes down to here. And then a third address that goes right here. Now, if we actually cross-check this with the list of wallets that actually stole the funds, for example, that first one that we looked at, you can see that this ended up going into this wallet that ends in 8DQ2. If we go back over to this, we can actually find the 8DQ wallet. And you can see that wallet right here. And so this is in the code. There's not really a way to deny this. You guys can get this code, you can download it, you can follow the steps that I just showed you. You can actually go ahead and search the code yourself and see that, yes, these different wallets ended up withdrawing in the liquidity pool were actually mentioned in the code. Now, the problem from my understanding from the people that ended up looking into this, because they have way better code understanding than me, is that this is a little bit uncertain. It's a little bit difficult to tell why this is in here, what's going on here. Obviously, we know now that those wallets stole the liquidity pool, so that's what we can assume is the reason for them being in here, but it's really hard to tell everything that's going on because this only gives you a portion of the idea of what's happening here. And so just due to the severity of the scenario, we have wallets hard-coded that drain the liquidity pool that you guys can go ahead and verify as I just showed you. We have over 40 million tokens that were allocated to private sale that seem to be connected back to the team that should not be there. We have other strange things that are occurring that are going on here, and what the team is doing is just deflecting. They're saying the code was not an issue. They're saying that they were hopeless. It was this outside attacker. They have no idea what's happening here, but we have a lot of other things going on here that just seem very suspicious. And due to the nature of the fact that there are millions of dollars involved, I would recommend that you guys actually report this to authorities. Now, if you go to LinkedIn, you go to the official Terra website, Rexy's actually put his full name right here, Rex Harrison. He doxed himself. I am not in favor of doxing other people, but if they publicly give that information, I think that's fair to talk about. Just like Ed Kim has his name out there, Rex decided to put his name out there. If you actually go ahead and look for Rex Harrison, Terra UK, you end up getting this link over to a government website for the United Kingdom government. And this will actually show you these different Terra corporations. You can see that Rex Harrison is a director on these corporations. So I would recommend that you guys, if you're impacted by Terraport, due to the just strange things that are potentially fraud committed by the team, not just this one attacker, I would recommend that you guys report Terra, you report Rexy's, you report other people to appropriate government agencies. That way they can investigate, because at the end of the day, there's only so much information that we can get publicly, and the rest we'd have to rely on the team for. And given the fact that there are millions of dollars on the stake here, I would recommend that we go to government authorities because they can get more information that we can't get, and they could do a thorough investigation where we can't do it.